Hello and welcome to another tarot general video. Well, tarot and oracle is what this video is entailing for communication form. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about your blocks and manifestation, but we're talking specifically, if I can wrap my brain around it, right? Financial blocks in your manifestations, or it's like the blocks in your manifestation, but in terms of finances, in terms of the manifestations concerning your finances. There we go. So I want to go into it. I want to figure out what details, friends, what details you need to hear about when it comes to the blocks. It is really awesome when you figure it out and you can do the action of getting kind of like through whatever you need to, so the blocks turn into stepping stones for your palace of whatever, whatever it is manifestation wise in terms of finances, excuse me. Sometimes you're going to hear me catch, like my voice is going to catch. That deals with the third chakra, throat chakra, and it's dealing with a lot in terms of things that maybe it's hard for you to believe, maybe it's hard for you to say. When my voice catches like that, just take note of it and take note of what I was talking about, because that could be entailing with you a certain type of block that needs to be looked at a bit more, not with fear, but with love and acceptance, and just wanting to help the block out so that you can move forward towards your financial manifestations. All right, so we have crack open already. Rose is an absolute beautiful herb when you're dealing with self-love, when you're dealing with love in general. I love using rose as an herb when it comes to intentional work, for, just intentional work in general. I don't know if you've ever done things that are based on intentional work, but it's a beautiful thing to get into. Be yourself. Crack open, be yourself. Daisy, Rose and Daisy. Oh man, I am absolutely getting this idea that what is really blocking you is really dealing with this belief that, do you feel worthy of having the finances that you truly dream about having? Just be. Okay? So worthiness is really important when it comes to having that belief that you deserve more than what you're receiving. Having that worthiness within you will help motivate you to have stronger boundaries. It will help you to be more confident in making those steps into the unknown, where you're literally like the Fool card in tarot, where they're like, their eyes are up above, they're still making that step, and they're just where the cliff ends. So they're using that kind of like inner kind of compass, that inner motivator, that inner faith, saying that, yeah, that's the right way we want to go. It might be like you're literally jumping off the cliff, but you have this kind of like inner knowing that you deserve to give yourself a shot with it. Like you deserve to give yourself that feeling that you did try, that you went and you made that small step. It literally could be that you're making just one conversation, like you're doing that one small step that can make that path that you didn't think would be a path, you realize it is a path. You went past, let's say this, okay? Before I continue, I want to give you this kind of like vision of what I'm envisioning. You're on a path and you want to get to the certain place, but you see that on the path there's this weird like there's a lot of vines, there's a lot of plants, and you're literally having to go through it. And it could be like roses, like, you know how roses have thorns and they have very pokey things. It's almost as if it's like all these plants and everything, it's like hurting you, and it could be like poison ivy, and it could be giving you all these rashes, but you know that you're not ultimately going to like die, so you keep going, right? And then just past all these plants and everything, you get to the clearance, you get to the open field where it's almost like you're Edward and you're stepping into the sunlight, and your skin starts blinging, and you're like, wow, I am a diamond, right? So I'm getting this feeling of like, the block is that you're not seeing the true diamond that you are in the rough of it. It might be a bit more so needing for you to see exactly what it is that, like, what it is that truly you've come from A to B to C to D to E to F, and now you're at G. You've come all this way, and you've gained a lot of knowledge of what really you think you're worthy of, or what really you think you are of. Sometimes when it comes to the boundaries, especially when it comes to finances, is you have to break free of past beliefs that you grew up kind of being told to believe, especially when it comes to family telling you, hey, that's not how you need to spend your money, or hey, that's not exactly what you want to do when it comes to balancing out your budget or whatever. 9 of Wands. One thing when it comes to money, all right, one thing when it comes to money that I've learned as a human being, okay, is the intention of how you use your money. When you give out your money, right, in terms of, I am going to pay for something, obviously I have to pay, right? Obviously I have to give my money. How do I feel when I give my money? Am I happy giving this money because I'm going to get the item that I really want? Am I going to be grouchy when I get the money because I think about like how much it's like that it's leaving my bank account? You know what I mean? Like, am I going to be ecstatic because I actually have money this time that I can give? You know what I mean? It's about that intention, like that feeling, knowing how you feel when you give money and when you receive money as well. When it comes to receiving, having any expectation that you're going to receive anything in terms will limit the amount of what you receive, because you have that it's like you have that expectation of it being something before it's something. It's almost as if you're like, yes. Okay, for instance, it's like this. It's like you're manifesting, right? And you're like, I want to have $2,000 in my bank account by the end of December 2022, right? Thinking about that, right? Having that expectation that, yes, I'm going to get $2,000 in my bank account. Having that expectation is good. But just having it, right, and not doing anything about it is what kind of faults. It's like that you're expecting, right? Oh yeah, I'm going to get $2,000. Like, the universe is obviously going to give me that. Like, it's like you're demanding it, right? But when it comes to just having that expectation and not meeting with action, it might not be as nice as you think it will be, okay? You have to have the action to meet the expectation, you know? You have to have that type of standard of living. You have to be in that type of standard of living. Do you think that people with $2,000 in their bank account, right? Do you think they just sit on their booties and expect it to just show up out of nowhere? No. We live in a world where we have to work. And when we work, right, along the way, we will gain. And it's not even just going to be, you're going to be gaining financial abundance, okay? You're going to be gaining spiritual abundance, identity abundance. You're going to be gaining so much more than what you thought when it comes to this, being able to just allow yourself to just enjoy the process of gaining that financial abundance, right? When it comes to manifestation, my beautiful, beautiful friends, we got to make sure that we're finding the meaning even in how we make the money. How do you make the money, right? If you are working a job where you don't like it and you're like, I hate my coworkers, I hate my boss, I hate what I do, you're really going to implement that hate into your life continuously. It might sound a little bit hard, okay? And I get it, because there are a lot of times where I, in the past, was very grouchy for good reasons. My bank account is low. My friends are really mean to me. My parents don't listen to me, so on and so forth. Somewhere along the way, I have to say, okay, am I going to be sulking about this all the time? Am I going to live my life in a sulky manner? No, I'm going to try to find small affirmations to tell me during my day that it actually is great. It's actually amazing. You know what those small affirmations are? My job is amazing. My coworkers are amazing. They're so inclusive. They want to know how I feel every single day. My job is fantastic. I not only progress as an amazing worker, but I gain from working. I gain exposure. I gain education. I gain lessons. I gain wisdom, so on and so forth. Making sure that your mindset is set on more so optimism instead of pessimism, especially with blocks, can absolutely help those blocks be less blocky and more walky on them. You can walk on them, you know what I mean? Just find a way, literally. Find a way to get on top of your block and say, oh heck no, I'm just going to walk on this. I'm going to use you as stepping stones to my my palace, which I rightfully deserve to be in. Duh. So that's where I'm at with this. I love it though, because it's evident to me, okay? It's evident to me that you are doing an absolute fabulous job dealing with blocks, dealing with it all. I really do get the feeling though that when it comes to it, optimism can, if you haven't tried it out, give it a shot. You know, it might feel cheesy. It might feel very cheesy. I get it. But there is something of a benefit when it comes to being optimistic and when it comes to just looking on the brighter thing. Hold on. Okay. Looking on like the brighter side of things, there is an absolute benefit to it. Guaranteed. 100%. Yeah. One thing about optimism that I like to think about is it helps me see the options that I have for opportunities of growth instead of pessimism, which looks at failure as I suck. No. Anything that I fail at, opportunity of growth, honey. That's exactly what I need to hear right now. That's exactly what I need to hear right now. All right. So what do you need to hear right now? I choose to be a super attractor and have unwavering faith in the universe. exactly what I've been saying, my sweet, sensational French. Look at yourself as the magician, because you are the magician. You are the person who has the ability to create whatever you want, especially finances. It is like when you are able to get your mindset set on the super attracting, unwavering faith mindset, the optimism, the continuous opportunities of growth mindset, you're going to realize that a lot of the things that was holding you back in the finances aspect of manifesting, they're going to be very small enough where you will step on them and walk towards your castle. I'm going to continue to say that because very important to know that you have a castle out there, or whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be a castle. Apparently it does take a lot of work to maintain a castle. Mine is kind of like a lighthouse almost, but I also have a little cottage in the forest with a bunch of friends who are deer and bunnies and rabbits, almost like I'm Snow White. Literally, I love Snow White because I'm just like, she gets to talk to animals, other than humans. That's so cool. Okay, so this deck is an oracle deck as well. The other deck, man, I'm not really good at knowing what decks are decks. If you recognize it, though, let me know, because I am. Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. Trust your talents in changing times. One thing is that, do you feel worthy? Do you feel worthy enough to trust yourself? Oh, do you feel worthy enough to trust yourself? That will continually be on my mind as I continue this reading. Because sometimes I too feel like I'm not worthy. I don't deserve this. But whoa, we're gonna hold the phone there. We've done the work. We continue to do the work. So it only makes sense that if we do the work with the mindset of manifesting, right? But with that, attracting, right? You want abundance. You want abundance in terms of plentiful, right? Having that mindset that, whoa. My talents are absolutely showing. My talents in changing times are showing, and I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting that all this hard work in the end will be what I needed to, so that in the end, I am the person that I need to be to have that $2,000 in my bank account. Doing the actions, day by day actions of honoring that person that I'm going to be in terms of becoming that person every day in small ways. Affirmations are amazing. Subliminal videos are amazing. Writing down and journaling and scripting is amazing. Doing very small things in terms of making your subconscious really feel that worthiness that maybe consciously you believe. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's when the wheel really starts to just, whoa, if you get on that wheel, you best be running because it's going fast. It's like one of those chipmunks wheels where the chipmunk actually goes so fast that it just starts going with the wheel and it can't get off, and it just, that sort of thing. But you're going to be able to get off, and you're going to be able to whoa, this is too fast. Let's slow down. But really though, what I'm really getting the block is that it's having that faith, right? The block is you don't feel like you're worthy enough to have that finances that you really want. But the truth is that whatever that you don't think you're enough, that's fake. That's not the truth. You are enough. You are absolutely enough. Whatever it is that you need to do to get to that financial manifestation that you really want, right? It's in you. You know what you need to do. And as you progress, what you don't know now, you will know then in the future. But it's very important that you don't think you know more than the future. No, okay? No, you don't. You cannot predict every single mistake that's going to happen. You cannot predict every single step towards the finish line, because how do you know that's the finish line? How do you know that's not the half line? The half line. How do you know that's not like halfway? How do you know that your finish line is actually over here? Like, you thought it was right here, but it's actually over here. But as you continue here, you'll realize that you need to go here and then there. You know what I mean? It's all just a freaking maze. And we're just in the maze. We didn't create the maze. We're in it. So how do you know if that direction is right or if that direction is right? Inside, the compass will tell you. So that is what I have for my beautiful friend, you, okay? You are an amazing person, a vivacious, plentiful human being with countless inspirational quotes that hopefully I'll be able to hear one day, because I love inspirational quotes. You know what I mean. Make me cry, why don't you? Anyway, so as we continue to live life plentiful, we continue to make mistakes, and those are the opportunities of growth. I've decided I no longer think my mistakes are bad, but in fact, they are the, what would I call it? The compost that my plants need to grow. They are the motivators for me to continue to know more, past the mistakes. I use mistakes as meanings for what can strengthen me inside myself as I continue to breathe and believe in me. Okay. I am aligned with energies that heal my past and grow my future. This is from my own type of deck, if you will. It's just a lot of different quotes, different symbols, runes. I have the Nordic runes in here. But it's just a bunch of rando stuff that random is needed. Random is needed. It's needed. I am successful at every passion I start. I am successful at every passion I start. Meaning everything that I start is a success already. And I don't need outside appreciation to tell me that. Baby, I already know it. I am in touch with myself. Wow. So freaking. All right, that's all I have for you for today's manifestation block video, or I don't really know how I'm gonna say it. I think it's gonna be like financial blocks and manifestations or something like that. But I hope you have a good time with your manifestations, and I hope you have a good time just in general with life. It might be hard sometimes, but trust me when I tell you, tomorrow will come. So anyway, until next time, I'll see you next time.